once started with assuming that in a mentoring relationship there is one person who gives and the other person who receives. But over the years,
for me, it's the simple reason that my life shifted because of the mentors. And I think now that in the past few years, I've actively tried to be in spaces where I can be a mentor, not because I want to give, but also because I receive so much from those experiences. I know it's so fulfilling.
I want somebody to talk to. That's the biggest challenge today. They want to share. And in fact, in my own career development also.
For me, being a mentor, the most happy part I enjoy every day, every time. This is an exceptional way to be a mentee.
Formally, I think mentoring was about the mentor. It was about the mentor's experience, the mentor being a role model. I think it has changed now. I think sometimes the mentee has a lot of information and sometimes more knowledge, than the mentor.
I think our biggest discovery is jointly find solutions to problem solve. But equally, the humility to say, I don't know.
Part of the characteristics essential to be a mentor is knowing when to let your mentee fail. Right? And then that's such a hard trait to acquire.
It's a kind of exploring part. I love the exploring part being a mentor. What she can do, what he can do, what all the mentees can do better than me.
There should be a mentor-mentee model. That is how we have seen in the career. That is how the term has come. But when we talk about real mentoring, over a period of time, what people have realized that mentoring is not only specific to taking support or help or guidance within the organization. It can come from outside the organization.
What is critical in this whole relationship is really not taking away the agency of the person being mentored.
It was about this myth that whether it's a mutually beneficial relationship or the mentee benefits, I do think the circles like this, like these Zoom calls, can be echo chambers even in this. It's good to be in these evolved spaces where we are recognizing that it's a very mutually beneficial process, but I don't think the entire world or all industries or all sectors have moved to calling it that, and we need to recognize that as well. I think shifts quite a bit based on sectors.
It's not always organic, and this is not only should be accessed when it is needed. Because to feel that need, they need guidance. I'm talking about mentees.
Right, like when it's for organization, I have mentors, and it really helps to have a structure to it because
agency becomes very important. So somebody, earlier made the point about showing mentees that they need help and they may not know that they need help. I'm saying that there could always be a situation where the mentee knows and is aware that she or he needs help, but we choose not to take it for a variety of reasons.
So it's about that even if you spend 30 minutes, you should be able to make a very good impact in terms of that person's life, that person's career.
A mentor should not impose what you are seeking.
I think it also makes us think if mentors are possess characteristics that are inherent, or can they be built, and if they can be built, then how do we start that process of getting mentors together to solve our more pressing challenges?
Point is, I'm not a scale person at all. I feel sometimes scale is the enemy of content, but that's just my view. Mentors really interacting with each other to learn from each other.
But not the certification point, because I think that just creates more barriers and lesser people are in the pool of mentoring. But I think having worked with children, I know they are the easiest target, so to say, कि हाँ बच्चों को mentor दे देते हैं. Let's give mentor to these children. But I think they are the most vulnerable and sensitive group of population. So there needs to be some checks and safety measures for both physical and psychological safety of children. So if we can ensure those, and then if needed scale up.
It's more to ensure that there's consistency, in the language that we speak.
To this effect, the National Commission for Teacher Education has released a working document called the Blue Book on Mentoring. It details a little bit about the National Mission for Mentoring, and I would encourage you all to visit that document and provide your feedback to NCTE, because they plan to use it as a document to talk more about mentoring, establish a culture of mentoring, and help institutions establish their own mentoring structures to solve their problems.